Hello everyone, this is JK Gaming with Caden.
And Jirai.
We're going to do a game called Thomas Was Alone. I've been announcing this on Twitter for probably the past 2 weeks. I've had so many technical difficulties and scheduling changes that I have been completely unable to do so. So,
P.S. He's been lazy too. I'm just kidding.
That's exactly. Actually, a couple days, I will admit, that was it. But
to be fair, he does work a very hard job, so...
let's not get into that. We're not going to start bragging or saying I'm lazy.
I'm trying to raise you on a pedestal.
Don't put me on a pedestal. I'm a horrible gamer.
Oh... Whatever.
Anyways.
You're a professional, unprofessional gamer. We'll just put it that way.
You're a pun professional. It's okay. Anyways, this is a game called Thomas Was Alone. It's a puzzle platformer, and it's kind of narrative-driven, but at the same time, just a puzzle game. I played through some of this on the PS3 and loved it. I figured it'd be a great one to start with. So, with this, let's get started.
Let's
play.
Huh. Flop.
Now, if you guys want to read those, you're gonna have to pause the video,
was alone.
or you're gonna have to be a fast reader.
A weird first thought to have.
Preferably a fast reader, because everybody loves fast readers. Ladies dig fast readers. Did you know that?
I solved it!
God, that was pretty hard.
That's the hardest one.
Jesus, I didn't know.
All the rest of these are easier than that.
It gets progressively
Thomas
easier,
decided to
guys.
start listing his observations for posterity.
Of course, posterity reasons.
1. The whole alone thing. 2. Portals. They led somewhere.
Of course they do.
He'd yet to work out where. 3. Falling. Thomas was absolutely fantastic at falling. He was almost as good at falling as he was at observing.
I'm good at falling too.
Yeah, I remember. I'm
Poof.
gonna sit here and let the narrative take place on these early ones because I know they're short. Like, the levels are short and easy, but I don't want you to miss any of the dialogue. So we'll be taking our time with it a little bit.
Interesting. Thomas couldn't fall past this block. Think, damn it, think. What if there was some kind of inverted fall? Some way to... what's the word? Jump.
And introducing... Wait for it. Wait for it.
Third time's the charm.
The jump!
Thomas had solved the great inverted fall mystery.
The find of the century, guys. The great discovery.
I'm gonna do this all the time now. This is so much fun.
A big jump. But Thomas noted there was no real danger in missing it. The world didn't want him to fail here. It was pushing him, but gently.
Ta-da!
I did it.
That little ta-da is so satisfying. Ta-da.
This all seemed a little dangerous. The world was not to be trusted. It was unstable, and it seemed to Thomas that it could let him down at any moment.
Charge! Oh shit!
He was
Oh,
starting to suspect it might even be doing so.
Run, little block, run! Run!
Paranoia.
Safe?
With your little corners for legs, I'm assuming.
Made it. I think they just kind of slide.
Well, slide. Slide, little block.
Thomas wondered whether the portals were actually taking him anywhere. He felt like he was making progress, but there wasn't really any way to know. He seemed to be moving predominantly up and to the right, which might, or might not, be important.
Fail.
This one looks so simple.
It might have been paranoia again, but Thomas could have sworn the world was becoming more complicated. It always seemed to be one step ahead of his skills. It had been designed just for him. He wondered why. Was the world testing him? No, too obvious. Something about the boiling, toxic, glowing water intimidated Thomas. He didn't like it. He certainly didn't want to swim in it.
I can swim in it, noob.
He made another mental note. 4. Water. Not good. To be avoided.
I had to test it.
I still see your orange blood in the water.
It's dark.
The loneliness was getting to Thomas. No amount of observation or obsessive note-taking could combat that.
I love the lighting effects, though.
I do too.
The centralized point.
You can do it. Si se puede. We are cheering you on, Thomas. Yay, Thomas.
Haha.
Woo!
There we go. It's so difficult.
Asterisk. Crowd cheering in the background. Asterisk.
Thomas had a new theory. The world was training him. He could feel himself getting smarter. There was the mental list to consider. Over the minutes and seconds since his spontaneous generation, he'd become a pretty skilled jumper.
So he's
I fall into a hole.
He just wished he had someone to share it with.
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Well, that's the first section.
Hey. We get to choose our characters
Chris
now.
took an immediate and deep dislike to the skinny red rectangle. Who the hell did this Thomas think he was?
An orange block. Orange rectangle to be exact.
I love the personalities they give to them.
Chris had been doing fine. He wasn't the highest jumper, but he'd held his own. He'd even been graceful at times. Well, not actually. Not technically graceful. It's probably the wrong word, but you know, fine. There was that skinny little runt leaping about like he owned the place.
Duh, it's Thomas. Thomas, do the fuck you want. Oh.
Ah! Did not expect to get punched in the face by a wall.
Smack. Chris is thinking, it's what serves you right.
Seriously. Doesn't look like Christopher's as good at falling as Thomas is.
Yeah, you suck, Chris.
Be
Boo.
nice.
He's a block. He ain't got no feelings.
Actually,
He's got edges.
He has feelings. If you can't tell by the storyline, he seems to have some feelings.
He's just a square. Ha!
Terrible one.
That was.
This was more like it. A glowy white thing. Only Chris could get to it, which of course made it all the more enticing. What would it do? What new opportunity might this switch open up to him?
Can you jump with him? With him on the bottom? Or him on the top, I mean?
Not jumping. No.
Grace,
Oh.
Grace. Another chance for Thomas to jump slightly higher than Chris. How fortunate. Seriously, this made the whole switch pressing thing entirely worthwhile.
The music's pretty nice in this too.
Was this good? Because on the surface, it did not seem good. Chris was pretty scared. Little Red seemed fine, happy to be on his merry little adventure. Chris couldn't shake the feeling that things had taken a significant turn for the worse since Thomas had joined him. Sure, he'd been able to piggyback his way to ever so slightly higher platforms, but where had that got him? Well, to ever so slightly higher platforms, which was sort of his point.
Sproing! Sproing!
You didn't spring enough.
Not that time.
Oh. Yeah! Success.
Running jump.
Ah! You mean gliding jump?
Either way. I made it.
1.5.
Chris stared at Thomas with pure hatred. He seemed so very happy at their situation. Friends together, a brave fellowship of quadrilaterals on a quest for greatness. That would be fine. But it was all the obvious observation that Thomas was doing which grated. Every time they saw something vaguely new, Chris would hear a satisfied little from the vaulting idiot. He hoped the next portal would split them up, if only for a few levels.
Oh.
Come on, Chris.
Ta-da! Oh. Now that's falling in style.
Oh.
And that's
And I'm back here.
Jump! Oh.
Chris was never the best jumper.
Pretty much sounds like our real life friend, Chris. Chris, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
I think you can jump better than you.
Well, tanks don't jump.
No, but they bowl the fuck you over.
Oh, we all know how that went for me.
You went down in about 3 seconds.
I counted 2.1 seconds.
At least you're honest.
I
I really love the shadow effects. I don't know why.
It's the little things that count.
In games, it often is. We didn't make it.
Anybody want a boiled rectangle? Anybody?
Like a small, unrounded hot dog.
Be careful not to choke on the edges.
I made it. Slightly bigger block.
Save point!
Oh, this one zips across.
Whee! Watch it just zip underneath from underneath you. No!
And that's why I kept moving.
Da-doom.
Can't believe it's almost 7 in the morning. God,
John
I've been up all night.
We ain't got nothing better to
knew
do.
that this was his chance. A moment to shine. This was game day.
It's
I like John. What are we on, like 1.7? Okay.
This would not do. John needed room to show off his exceptional skills. As it was, he was trapped on the wrong side of these little dot things.
Charge!
Where did they come from, anyway?
Damn, Chris. Double leap.
Now you're up.
Again, the lighting. Look at that. That
Yeah.
little spot.
Ah.
It's gone.
Damn it, John. Don't be blocking out the light.
John inhaled the air of the open space, and it smelled of awesome. Time to flex those muscles, to
So
put his
optimistic.
training to use, time to show those little dots how it was done. John decided to press the switch to let the little dots catch up with him. John cared for his new allies.
Oh.
You could tell from the sympathetic expression he practiced in the mirror all these years.
I like John.
Chris is a little bit of a dick, but Thomas is nice and John is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I can get down this whole button pressing to switch characters thing just right, I'll be good.
It'll take some time.
Plus, I'm not looking at the actual setup here. Alrighty. Falling.
With style.
I actually think we're gonna have to cut it short here at the marker now, yeah, because it's gonna take a bit to get Chris over here. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up now. I'll continue this in the next episode, right from where we are now. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're feeling talkative, we'll be glad to hear from you. This has been Caden.
And Jirai.
So
Signing off.
thanks for hanging around. Ta-ta.
Ciao.